Hey y'all, so I just want to talk a little bit about what we talked about yesterday and tie it in with the lesson for today. Yesterday, we said in the environment and in environmental science, there are two main problems. So the first one is overconsumption, so we use too many resources. The second one is waste. So we have a lot, we consume a lot, so then we generate a lot of waste, so trash, food, etc. We're going to focus on overconsumption today. So to do this, to see how much we consume, to see what impact we have on the environment, you calculated your ecological footprint. So your ecological footprint is your impact or the community's impact on the environment. It breaks it down into different things. So it looks at maybe mobility, so think about cars, food, housing, trash. So in the US, we have a huge ecological footprint. We have a lot more resources than others do, and we make a lot more, and we also generate a lot more waste. So I wanted to show you my results. My personal Earth Overshoot Day was the 17th of March, and if everybody lived like me, we would need almost 5 Earths. Doesn't make me feel very good. So to break it down a little bit further, my carbon footprint is the biggest. And the reason for that is my biggest consumption category. So right now it's a little different because we're not in school every day, but I still coach sports, so I'm still at the school a lot. So mobility. I live 35 miles away from school. I live in Woodstock. So every day I'm putting at least 70 miles on my car. So you could say 400 miles a week. That's a lot of gas. That's a lot of fumes that are going out into the environment. So I'm using a lot. And then other things. I like to shop. I like clothes. I like chicken. So I have a really big ecological footprint. So this makes me think, what can I do to do a little bit better? Well, I love picking, so I'm not going to move. But think about other things. Maybe at Kroger, I take a reusable shopping bag instead of plastic bags. For lunch, I used to bring my chips and my sandwich in a baggie. Now I have a plastic container for my sandwich. I just bring the whole bag for the chips. So just think about little things you can do to lessen your impact. So today what we're going to talk about is the tragedy of the commons and how this is related to overconsumption. So a tragedy is something bad. Commons are something that are common to a lot of people. So 1833. There's this pasture that this guy named Garrett Hardin is looking at. So there's grass, which is good. That's what sheep need. But it's not regulated at all. So what we see is a bunch of shepherds who decide they're going to monopolize that resource. They're going to take as much as they want. Like they don't care what anybody else needs. They want money. They want their sheep to be fed. They want more wool. So they want to feed them more. So if everybody decides to do that, there's going to be too many sheep, they're going to be overcrowded, that resource, which is unregulated, is going to be depleted. It's going to go away. The sheep will move or they'll die. So the tragedy is that everybody looked out for their own selves. So think about the environment. Like, y'all, we have commons that we use all the time. At school, commons could be people fighting over the bathrooms, people fighting over who they're going to date, or seats in the lunchroom, or maybe a parking spot. In the environment, we have different things, like maybe different countries are going to fight over oil. Maybe different animals are going to use water different ways. But we have a lot of common resources. So we kind of have to think. We have to take care of ourselves, we have to take care of our families, but we want to make sure that we don't overconsume. Because if everybody overconsumes, then there's not going to be anything left for anybody, and that would be a tragedy. So just like the video that I posted, in Atlanta, free food forest, food for people who need it, absolutely, great idea. But they say, take what you need. People aren't going to do that. And again, that's the tragedy of a common area. So I just want you to think about that as we go into the activity for the day. And if y'all need help, let me know. Y'all have a good day.